Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the virtual desktop experience. As always, I am James, aka HCMJ, 1/3 of Death Dynamic Shroud, along with my companions.
That's me. I'm Tech Honors, also Death Dynamic Shroud. We also got...
I'm Kevin, aka Equip.
And my name is Mark, aka R23X, and together we are
Neo Gaia.
Neo Gaia.
I was gonna say family. Family.
How are we supposed to know to say that?
Because it's the Fast and the Furious films franchise.
Oh, of course. So Mark, as always, with the pop culture update. He's always keeping us up to date on what's going on, whether it's the Zack Snyder cut, or if it is the Farscape soundtrack, or the Furious 9, whatever it is. Mark's got us covered. So we're joining you today inside of Apple Watch, which is very exciting. Mark and I believe, are the only two Neo Gaia boys who actually have an Apple Watch. Are you wearing yours, Mark?
Yeah.
You want to flex that a little bit?
Gotta say, it really does look like the arm that the watch is on. It looks like it's on a left arm to me. The way that the skin goes up at the end.
Yeah.
And also a left hand is next to us. So this person's got two left hands.
So you're wrong. So this is
It's a right. God, hold on, time out. I just want everybody, when this is all over, I want everybody to watch the VOD of this and just watch the eagerness in James's eyes while I finish talking with what just happened there, for him to be like, oh God, I can't wait to fucking tell you.
All right,
about
Tech. So, all right, okay. You can guide that missile somewhere else, because A, you're right and I'm right. This is one of those things where we both get to be right. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, this actually is a left wrist that I have flipped upside down to emulate my experience with Apple Watch, which is wearing it on my right hand, or right wrist, because I'm left-handed. In which case, I would need a left hand to touch the digital crown, as you clearly see here. So here, let me just I need to break this down clearly. So what we're working with here is I wear the Apple Watch inverted. So what you're kind of seeing on the screen, I don't understand. So what you're seeing on the screen is like this, right? And then here's the left hand coming to touch it. But for most people, the digital crown that you see here is actually up here, because people wear it on their left wrists and then use their right hand to scroll through information and data. I wore it on my right wrist and used my left hand with the crown on the right side for the first few weeks that I had it, and I was like, this fucking sucks. Because I can't see what I'm doing because my hand is constantly in the way, which is a constant problem for left-handed people. And then I was like, I bet you can just fucking flip it. And sure enough, you can put it into right wrist mode, which I did. And so my digital crown is on the lower left-hand side, which makes it more comfortable for me. So here's the original image, Tech. I'm just going to do this for you.
Ew.
Oh, well, it's not that, but... White band 2. Yeah, so this was the original image here. And so yes, you were correct. It was someone's left wrist coning upwards. And so using the magic BOBS, I was able to turn it into a left wrist. But it's not
That doesn't
looks
look
more
right either, though.
Yeah, the original image looks like it's on the right
No, that's
wrist.
not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is what I turned it into by a 180-degree rotation.
Okay,
Yes.
so what did it normally look like?
This is it normally.
No,
And this
That
is how-
looks like it's on. Now it looks like
that's
it's
not right either.
No, so that looks like a
Right
right wrist wearing it uninverted. So we're all over the place here, folks. We're gonna make this work best we can. The point is,
Suspension of disbelief.
this is suspension of disbelief. What you are looking at right now is someone like me with an Apple Watch on their right wrist, inverting it so that the crown is on the lower left, so that they can
What's
easily.
the crown? What's this? What's the crown?
This is a digital crown. That's the spinny thing. So you
Okay,
use this to
where is that
scroll
supposed
through
to be?
information.
Normally,
Normally
in all
it's up-
advertising, where is the
it's up-
crown supposed
It's
to
up here.
Like this.
So I'm wearing
on
the
the top
watch.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
So
wearing
it-
the watch
so it
upside
really,
down.
It really was on the right wrist in the original image, which would make the left hand that we have perfectly fine. So-
Yes, but they hadn't inverted the screen the way that I have, because any person that actually wears an Apple Watch on their right wrist knows that it's awful if the crown is over there, because then when you're scrolling through your info, it's like,
Huh.
you see what I'm saying?
Okay. I don't have one, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, so imagine you're looking at.
You don't have to. It's
I
okay.
know, I know.
please. Okay.
But yeah, it was basically like this for the first few weeks, and I was like, this sucks. I don't like this. And then I changed it, so now it's like this. But it is also weird because the digital crown is on the lower left. But hey,
I
it's all right.
I simply don't get how it would be weird to have the right thing on the top right on my right wrist, but I don't have one, so I don't know.
Imagine your
It
hand.
seems like you would just. It seems like you would just do this. It seems like you would just do this. You
But
keep your
it-
hand out of the way of the face.
It's still
go
in the
like that.
way. Like, my finger is not that long. Like, it's not. This is not a convenient or nice way to use the phone or watch. You just gotta trust me. I tried.
I get it.
This is way, way nicer. Everything is out of the way. Look, I'm scrolling through data. I got all kinds of information coming in from
Data.
all over the globe.
Yeah, I can see the one. You keep it on your right wrist.
Yes, because I'm left-handed.
Right. But see, I can't remember which fucking wrist I wear watches on.
You
God.
should wear it on your left wrist if you're right-handed. It's your non-dominant
Because
hand.
it's easier to put on.
I don't know why. Yeah, I guess.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
that's-
I have a tan line. I have a tan line with my. Okay, yeah, I keep it on my left hand.
I mean, you do stuff with your right hand and you check the time with your left. It makes sense to me.
Luxury
Yeah,
noise
like-
is this extensive interface consideration I'm here for.
Well, and it's true though, and I mean, I did. So yes, you were right.
Okay, so
I
right now you're drinking a beverage with your right hand. What if mid-beverage gulp you want to check the time? If you look at that right hand, you're going to dump that beverage all over your lap.
Totally
Your
right.
day is going to be ruined.
You're totally right.
once
I would not make that mistake though.
once I gathered up a bunch of cups in my room, and a few of them had water, and so I, like dumped all the liquid into one cup, and then it was like only 3 or 4 cups, okay, but it's way too many to have in a room. And I went and I turned the door off and just spilled the fucking water. And I was like, oh my god, like, why do you ever think you're smart? Like, that was such a stupid fucking thing to do. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, so we're joining you today inside WatchOS. It's super exciting. No, you cannot video chat in WatchOS. No, Skype does not exist in WatchOS. But with the way that Apple is making their processors smaller, lighter, and less power hungry, I bet you in a couple more iterations we'll be video chatting on our watches, and I can't wait for it. Kevin, what you been up to?
I thought that was going somewhere.
Yeah.
I finished my Equipped Picks mix. It's a Future Funk Persona 4 album, and I dropped it.
It's incredible, by the way.
And,
Thank you for that. It's a lot of fun to listen to.
Thanks, James. And then I've been like hanging out with my friends and stuff.
That's sick.
That's about it.
Shopping,
socializing.
hanging out with friends.
Yeah,
Watching
you met
TV.
you met a friend of James in my past recently.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
Wait,
Uh,
Did I miss that?
He met I'll just your first name. It's okay. He met Colin from the drummer of
Wait,
Astro.
seriously?
Yeah. He lives in Chicago. He was in the band Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I like
Did
this
he have any
bar.
embarrassing stories about us playing shows together at Blind Bob's? Yeah.
He didn't really. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna have to follow up on it because
Yeah.
my buddy lives right down the street from this this kind of hip bar called the Sportsman, and it's a nice, cozy place to drink. They got a patio, and I went there like I think 2 Fridays in a row actually, and the last Friday. There was just like house banger after house banger on the stereo, and it was just like good shit. And I asked the bartender, I was like, "Hey, is this your music?" And he was like, "I don't even remember what he said, but he was like, oh, do you do music?" And I was like, "Yeah." "Do you?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then we exchanged Instagrams. And then like I looked on his IG as I was leaving, and I was like, oh, he's got like an unreasonable follower count. What's the deal with this? It was like 12K or something. And then I saw that Tech and Keith followed in, so I was like, oh, what's the deal?
I don't
with
follow him. I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't know he was on
Yeah.
Instagram. Is what I mean.
Just kidding. I mean, I haven't spoken to him in like a decade or longer than that. I just got a notification that a former coworker just followed me on TikTok. And it's just really weird. It doesn't
Coworker
matter.
from where?
From my last job. But it's just it was like an office job. And he's just gonna end up
Thinking
seeing
you're
some
weird.
loony stuff.
How's TikTok going for you? Are you enjoying that platform?
I don't use it. All I do is every now and then I have like an idea, and then I'm like, hey, I'll make a TikTok of that, and then I put a Death Dynamic Shroud song real quietly in the background.
All right, so we need to hit the brakes real quick, just to catch up with some stuff in the chat. Most importantly, Molitovich says, "I love watching this stream." 10 out of 10. I got to meet up and hang out with Molitovich and Rainy Cakes just like a week ago, and it was totally fucking awesome. Because I don't know if y'all got the memo, but COVID's over. And everyone's real excited about it. Obviously it's not, but I just mean everyone's acting like it is, so that means that it is, because what is real? What is reality?
What did I say?
So there was a really cool show at the Warehouse on Watts here in Philadelphia, and it was really surreal because all of like my Philly musician, like the Philly Vapor crew, I haven't seen in person since COVID began, basically. So it was like seeing Dr. Chris and Andrew from my old roommate Andrew I've seen, but Andrew from Virtua 94, Toad of Sky, and all those kids and that crew was just like, and I think everyone there was all kind of freaked out to like see people and like be at a show again. Like it didn't have that like that flow where everything's just like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, cool, like it was just like, whoa, yeah, hey, yeah, how you been? Like everyone was
Everyone's
kind of
forgotten everyone's names.
yeah, like everyone was kind of like wide-eyed and like, whoa, like, damn, this is weird. But I could only say for a short time, I saw my old roommate Andrew play as Bonneville. No relation to the band Bonneville. That was a bunch of rich kids in Dayton that we used to play with, and always makes me. We didn't in Battle of the Band situations. We didn't choose to play with them. But yeah, it's always weird when Bonneville's on the bill for that reason. But anyway,
Yeah.
it was great. He opened with a Hatebreed sample, and it just kind of went from there. It was awesome. And I got to give a big hug to Molitovich and Rainy Cakes and get a few selfies. And it was like, wow, thanks for coming out. This is awesome. This is really fun. So yeah, big ups and
Sweet.
props.
That's exciting.
Make the drive to Philly to come to a Vapor show. You're probably going to see me being weird, hanging out.
Did you say that was pronounced Toad of Sky?
That's what I thought.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Toadovsky. I've been calling him Todovsky this entire time.
Well, I mean, maybe.
I mean, Todovsky, really, if you're like gonna have like this like Polish pronunciation, then it should have an I where the Y is. But
Yeah, I
always
just thought it was like multiple words smashed together. But I don't know. He's
Okay.
really cool though. So
Okay,
that's...
Rainy Cake said it is indeed Toad of Sky. I heard him say
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool.
Good.
Confirmed.
But yeah, so Andrew is super cool. That's Toad of Sky. I think I told this story a long time ago, but he's the one who, after Electronicon 2, when I'm walking through LAX, I hear someone say, James, and I turn and it's Andrew, and I'm like, yo, Andrew, what's up? I'm about to fly back to Philadelphia. And he's like, I'm about to fly back to Philadelphia too. And we're like, cool. And then we get on the plane, and our seats are next to each other. And it's like, dude, we're friends. This is crazy. Same flight, sitting next to each other. It was some Vapor God stuff. It was pretty fun.
Did you guys talk?
I mean, no, not a lot. On the plane, we put in headphones and zoned
Sick.
out.
Did you like
talk on a plane?
tickle him a little bit?
Yeah. No, that's a mutually respectful thing to do. Because I would be full of apprehension if I sat down next to somebody that I was like, you know, like kind of friends with or whatever, you know, like not like best friend in the world or anything. And then you're just like, oh, fuck, I was really planning on like.
You make your own luck. I just popped them in, and we both knew the score. And we're not gonna talk on an airplane anyway. I mean, when you're on the tarmac or whatever, okay, it's okay to like have light conversation. But once that thing takes off,
We talked on the airplane. We talked on the airplane.
Just a little.
A lot, but it was a 12-hour flight.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna go get some coffee from downstairs real quick, so I'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
You were talking on the flight to Japan. Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah. I mean,
I can't think of another flight that would be 12 hours
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah, we slept for more than half of it. But yeah, like, yes, okay, Al Obscure understands. Yes, same social anxiety for sure. I don't know. I wouldn't want to, you know, it's like that thing that happens when you like run into somebody you know in public, or like at the store, and then you both have to finish shopping, so you're just gonna keep running into each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, like I'll go wait in the car until I see you leave, and then I'll, you know.
Resume your shopping.
Yeah. I can't. I don't want to deal with
We
that.
meet again in the cereal aisle.
And then you can get away with like one, you know, self-aware joke about it. You know, about
Was it?
oh.
Thought you were more of a Cocoa Puffs kind of guy.
But yeah. Anyway, that was the on the Japan flight we talked for sure, because we talked about the Concorde airplane, and then we heard some other people talking about the Concorde airplane, and they were getting all the facts. So,
I remember that story.
They're
Yeah.
getting the facts wrong.
Yeah, like James literally read the entire Wikipedia entry for the Concorde jet plane.
Love that.
And then all of a sudden these people started talking about it, and then like one guy was just asserting fact after fact, and like they were all wrong. James was like, it's not true. I just wrote that. It's right here on my screen.
And that's why I say there's no such thing as coincidence, merely the illusion of coincidence. I just spilled coffee on my hands.
Oh God,
Destiny.
so pathetic.
Smash something.
Mark, what have you been up to? I'd love to hear from you, Mark.
Oh, me. I had a really amazing massage. That's the highlight of my entire month. So.
And I heard that your masseuse had quite the story about him. Would you like to share anything about that?
He said he was a himbo Giga Chad Pog Daddy, right?
Yeah, he was just a really stand-up, good-looking, muscular, chill guy who put all of his body weight into his elbow in my spine. And
I need someone to do that.
It was incredible. But he also confided in me while I was on the table about his... I brought up that I work in the video game industry, and he said, oh, we have that in common. And I was like, oh, you work in game development in Vancouver? Because there's a lot of studios here. And he was like, no, I just played video games. And I'm like, oh, nice. what did you? He's like, until about a year ago when I quit, and then he told me that he was addicted to playing Call of Duty and other online shooting games with his buddies, and but he also, I mean, I think he's on the verge of a relapse because he said to me at the end that he wanted to get a PS5. So I hope he's gonna be okay. But I will be going back to get another massage in 2 weeks so I'll check in on his gaming. See if he started again. But
it was a 10 out of 10 massage.
Oh, it was just, I really needed it. I haven't had a massage since before the pandemic, so yeah. I don't practice ergonomic desk setup or anything. So
it's possibly like the most predictable thing, but I am not a fan of massages.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. They hurt.
No touching. No touching.
I have an old coworker. He had a little kind of retirement party or whatever when I was quitting, and some of the old crew came back, and this person that used to work at the Japanese house, they're now getting like their masseuse certification or whatever, and they were telling some horror stories from the table, as it were. And they were like, yeah, like, I was giving this dude a massage, and he just straight up just got a raging boner. Just, like, right in the... And they're like, it happens, and that's cool. It's just a natural thing, and you just ignore it. But this guy, like, it just would not go away. And then finally, I just had to be like, all right, we're done here. All right, that's enough. We're good. I don't...
around it.
I've only had one massage, and it was in Japan at the Iadori guest house. It was just something that Takano-san was like, oh yeah, and there's gonna be massages tonight if you want it. It's like 3,000 yen or whatever. I'm like, God, I need it so bad. But she massaged me with her feet, but it still wasn't powerful enough to like even begin to break down all this stuff that's going on.
What kind of establishment was this that you were in?
This was at the guest. It was in the room that we stayed in Kamakura. Yeah, so she's just like a neighborhood masseuse or whatever. She came in.
It's just neighborhood foot stuff. I get it. Yeah, it's chill. Yeah.
It's a real thing where they massage you using their feet instead of their hands because they can put all their body weight on it. Is the idea.
That does sound great. Yeah.
Did she wash them first?
I don't know.
Probably.
I'm sure it was fine.
Was she just like stepping on, or was she like holding on to something to like?
No,
do it,
yeah,
or?
She was just like, kind of stomping on my back and stuff. It was.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It wasn't. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I needed more. I really needed a himbo to just right into my back until it broke. Like that's what I need.
He was muscular
every day.
Like, yeah, you need someone who could basically kill you quite easily, and they get close to that barrier, but they hold back, but just enough to release the tension in your muscles.
See, I think in that kind of situation, I don't think any part of me. I would fear arousal in any way, Yeah. But I can see certain, got the candles, maybe the lighting's just right, If it's an attractive person, they start touching you. There's a whole episode of Seinfeld about it. It addressed homophobia before it was cool to do that, which is neat. Hey, Michaela. Is she wearing a mask? Is she wearing a mask because you smell so bad? Hey, Tech. Ask her if she's wearing a mask because you smell so bad.
James said that your mask looks really nice.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
He's saying that's exactly what I said.
That is not what I said.
She said thank you. That's my favorite.
When I come to Philly for that show, we're gonna go get a deluxe massage, alright?
Okay, sounds good. Where are you?
What show is that?
I don't know, you'll have to find a spot.
Oh, it's up to you.
When is that happening? Is that soon?
When is that? It's in October, right?
It's October. October's going to be here before we know it. We're all going to have to play like 70 shows and be like, oh, damn. We're doing stuff now, aren't we?
It's sick. I'm excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
I defeated COVID.
Tech did it.
Yeah.
He got it.
It thought that it got me, but I got its ass. And COVID next the fucking thing you knew, oh, we got vaccines. You're welcome. So,
tech vaccine. Now, let me ask you a question that's not so rhetorical, nor is it hypothetical. What's better than one Apple Watch?
I think we're looking at 2 Apple Watches.
4 Apple Watches.
4
2
Apple Watches?
$1, Bob. $1, Bob.
$1?
I would say more than $1.
Oh, you guys are looking at looking at the screen share. You're looking at the scene I'm about to pop in. The correct answer is 3 Apple Watches, and that's what we're looking at now, folks.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 Apple.
But now I see that it spoilers in the corner there.
And so here you can see here is a left wrist with the digital crown. Oh, here. I'm sorry, Tech. Here you see is a left wrist with 3 Apple Watches positioned in its default manner with the digital crown. So you can imagine this is really nice. Look, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Especially if you have 3 of them here. And, you know, it's funny, the Spotify app almost looks like it just might be an Apple Watch patch.
Yeah.
Patch. They kind of look like that.
That's a
and it looks
real
like
photo, isn't it?
This is an actual photograph. This person has 2 of the banded solo bands here. And this, I don't think is a solo because I think that's the latch coming up the back there. So that's just the regular sports bands.
Do you have a solo?
I do.
I prefer the latch. I really I've latched onto it.
When you get a solo band that is the correct size, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it because I can just like pop it on my wrist and then go,
that does sound nice.
and just pull it off. This band, the stainless steel, this definitely looks the sickest. With the stainless steel Apple Watch too, it's like, okay, excuse me, but is that a Rolex or is that just the nicest piece of wearable technology that you can get?
What about Google Glass?
That was ahead of its time, and I think that
cool.
Yeah, I think that in maybe 5 years, the world will be ready for people to be walking around with that. At the time, not. Yeah, it's like the R zone.
Here's something fun about wearing 3 Apple Watches. You guys do that like Fitbit thing. I don't know what it is. Where it measures your health or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And it finds out
3 times as healthy.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. Because you could just run 1 mile and it counts as 3. Bada bing, bada boom. You're healthy as a horse.
Burn 1,200 calories right there.
And so this app here, which is your activity ring, and then this app here, which is the workout app, these are really, and the heart rate, these are the 3 apps that I probably use the most. So I've gotten into closing my rings every day, which sounds like when I bought this Apple Watch, it was really because it was expensive. I was quitting my job, I got some severance, and I was like, I'm going to reward myself. And the Series 6 has the always-on display. I was like, all right, that was the deal breaker for me. I didn't want to have something on my wrist that was just a black surface, that you had to pull up to your face to see. Now they have this nice always-on display. Oh, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Stop it. And so I got this Apple Watch, really sight unseen, and then I'm getting it and I'm wearing it. I'm like, okay, I got it. And then I get my first text message notification. I'm like, ooh, look at that. That's neat. I get my text on my watch now. But then I discovered the activity rings and the workout apps. I'm like, oh, right. That's why people buy these, to help them get healthy and track their vitals. But it's really cool, as cheesy as it sounds. there's a whole social ecosystem built into the activity rings where you can share your body info with close friends and family that also have Apple Watches, and like track how many steps you're taking, how often you're standing, every time I finish an exercise, all of my friends that I share that data with get an alert that says like, James just finished biking for 5 miles, and it says like average 12 miles per hour, and his average heart rate was 120 beats per minute. And then there are like
just like I always wanted.
There like
unsolicited heart rate pics.
There are canned responses like who were you drafting, or stuff like that. But it sounds so cheesy, but it's actually really nice, because I see Mark just completed a workout, 50-mile bike ride, for like 12 hours, and it's like, I need to fucking get off my ass. And it has actually started, like, because I want to have a perfect month of closed rings, it has started to motivate me, like, working out at, like, night. I'll be like, alright, it's 10 p.m. and I have to burn, like, another 150 calories. Like, I will get on my bike and just ride around for, like, a half hour just to close that ring. And I don't really think that's a bad thing at the end of the day. So, wearable technology.
Just gotta make stuff a video game. Cool.
Did it auto-populate
exactly.
your requirement stats based on like your weight and height?
Yeah.
Because I just set mine to be like 420 calories and 69 minutes of exercise.
Jesus Christ.
I think my move...
I don't even know what calories are. I just assume that there's like midi-chlorians or something.
They don't have calories in Canada, I don't think.
My move ring is definitely...
Beavers.
My move ring is ambitious, because that thing is always 75% closed by like 9 p.m. and never closes the rest of the way, and I have to like actively work out to attempt to close it. But there are also competitions tech, so it has achievements like Xbox and PlayStation for like doing things a certain number of.
Now he gets it. Yeah.
But I'm so like Mike. Right now, I'm in a competition with Mike Z, and I can see that. So I'm 200 calories ahead of Mike Z, because he never expects me to go on bike rides at night, and so I just blow him out of the water just day after day. He's beaten me 7 separate times, and I'm so sick of it, because he has a baby, and so he's always walking around with a baby.
Baby.
So anyway, that's enough about... I just wanted to speak a little bit to WatchOS, because the whole like fitness watch technology thing was not something I even considered when I bought it. I just bought it because I wanted something expensive and Apple and like, sick, so that ended up being a really fun bonus. Mark and I are really encouraging. I feel encouraged, Mark, every time you send me one of those little responses, and I really do appreciate it.
Same here. It's nice to stay in touch that way.
Sometimes it's better,
Sometimes,
I don't think I would like that if I got notifications of someone else thriving.
I think you would like it because as James mentioned, there are auto canned responses like a boss, hashtag like a boss, or like 3 emojis of like a fucking bike or a medal or something. But if you just scroll past those, like 10 past those, it just does like they just default fill it with like auto replies.
Yeah, like the sorry, I'm in a meeting right now. It gets real absurd.
Talk later, yeah.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that popped in. It's just like AI generated mistake.
I do want to share something real quick though. Just one more comment about the fitness and filling your rings, because Mark went on this huge fucking voyage in which he took a ferry to like Vancouver Island or something. I don't know, one of those islands. And was like biking all day long. And so when I checked his rings, the exercise ring just like kept spinning and spinning and spinning. It was like one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Let me just pull that up real quick while you all
have that.
talk about something else.
It's a chance that this is only going to be interesting to people who have any clue what the rings element of an Apple Watch are like.
Well, so it should only fill once per day. There's one for standing, one for exercising, and one for moving, basically.
They should have one for mood. Tracks your mood, and it's called a mood ring. I think that would be fun.
Wait a
Actually,
minute.
Amazon Echo has they've released one that does track your voice, and it can sense
Fear.
more like pretty much anything that's a path to the dark side. It can sense through the phone.
Yeah, I can imagine they're using that data responsibly too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, to send billionaires into space or something.
Well, that's the other thing. Yes, it's collecting a lot of data about me, but we're here in the Apple ecosystem, and Apple makes their money selling hardware, not selling your personal data, which is why the walled garden is a nice place to hang out with friends. So let me just airdrop this to me real quick on my iMac here.
I don't know what they would do with the information about me biking for half a day.
What's going on with Spotify's
It's like
Spot a Knot.
maybe they'll just try to send me an ad to buy a car. Like, you would get there faster if you had a car.
They could sell you bike parts. They could sell you like supplements. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, what?
Like doping or whatever.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. I don't know what's going on anymore.
I'm here. I had to stop sharing because I'm having some audio issues.
Some tech.
I think we got it here. I think we're okay. Just a momentary lapse of reason. All right, check this out. This is some crazy stuff here.
We can't see the screen.
Hold on.
Have you tried using Family? Alright. I don't know how small I am on the screen anymore, but there's Vin Diesel. Dom. Also
Why
known
is
as
there-
Dom.
What is
You ever
this?
seen any of those
I see.
Chronicles of Riddick movies?
I love one of them at least. Yeah.
Have you ever played the Xbox game?
No, but now I
heard it
really
was
want
good.
to.
I heard it was good.
Yeah.
For Xbox One? Or like the first Xbox?
Original Xbox, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Not Xbox 3.
Anyway, so check this out. This is going to be awesome.
Okay, you figured it out?
Chronicles of Riddick.
Chronicles
What
of
do we
Riddick. That was based off of a D&D campaign. And it turns out that Vin Diesel is all about Dungeons and Dragons. He is a role-playing guy.
What a guy.
Wow.
It's kind of ridiculous to hear. But
All right, so check
Nice.
out these move rings.
how many days of
Like, it's only supposed to go around once. Exercise 476 minutes out of the 30 to close the ring. I mean,
It says
Okay,
30. I
Mark.
need to update that to 69 again.
Oh my god. Oh, that's the fun
let's just look
number.
at this one more time for anyone who uses the activity app. Just imagine this is you. Like I had to laugh out loud when I saw it. Giga Chad, indeed.
Giga Chad. Mark
So
is
way to
a
go.
daddy.
Round of applause for Mark
That's
for
nice.
being such a good fitman. For being, he's the thin man. He is the thin man.
Just to let you know, James,
Whoa.
I use an externally developed app called Strava for tracking bikes stuff because I can incorporate my more detailed biking things and like through elevation and stuff, and it also factors in the weight of my bike and the make and model of my bike. So
Oh, nice.
I have my different bikes in there. Yeah.
Wow.
And it feeds into the fitness app, so
Well,
you should check that one out actually.
I think just the regular. I'll just use the Apple one. That's fine.
That's cool. I understand. I knew that that would be what.
Well,
you
and I was thinking about it today because so the Sunshine Mania tapes came for the Death Dynamic Shroud mixtape club, which is so I had to sign them for our tier 3 members that I then put into a box and ship the tech so tech can sign them and then send them out. And so I had to pack them and throw them in the ocean, right? And so I had to pack up this big box, which ended up being 11 pounds that I had to take to the UPS store. And 11 pounds is not a lot, but when it's in a big bulky box that you're like carrying under your arm while biking with one arm in 93-degree heat, it was a very stressful situation. So you probably saw me complete that bike ride. It took about 40 minutes. And my average speed was only like 5 miles per hour because, I mean, I had, I had shit with me. But I bet you my heart rate was definitely elevated because I was hauling cube on my way.
And you were probably like frustrated and irritable, which would also accelerate your heart rate.
Well, yeah. And then the gum thing happens. Oh,
right.
It was very, very disappointing. But the last thing I'll say about it, that's the other thing that's really cool, is being on a bike ride and being able to glance at your wrist and seeing how far you've biked, your average speed, and what your heart rate currently is. Because I had no idea what my active heart rate was or what it's like, but I found now I can ride faster without my heart beating as fast. And I was like, whoa, I think that means I'm getting a little fitter because it's not, as difficult to really pump it out there to go like 13 miles per hour down this.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Keep
Well,
track of your vitals. Life is a game, Tech.
I would just track my own heartbeat using the power of concentration. You know what I mean? Just like
a nurse. Just like a nurse.
Listen inside your own head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a what do they call the guy? A conductor? They're supposedly they keep time by like learning their own heartbeat. Like,
oh, I'm so sorry, Rainy Kate.
No, it's fine. Who gives a fuck? I'm just kidding. It's totally fine. Yeah, I was gonna mention that Rainy Cake said that, so pull that up. Pull the picture up. Do it. Rainy Cake said, "Oh my god, but seriously, I'm gonna pout until James shares a pic of him with me and Molotovich the other day, and I mean, if I do this too long, it's gonna be unattractive." So,
they were dying, is what happened. They died. The AirPods just. So I didn't hear you or what you said when you were upset with me for interrupting you. I wished in that moment, if only I could go back 5 seconds and not interrupt him.
Oh no, it was totally fine. It really was fine. I didn't care. I made a scene.
So now I'm gonna resume the music here, and I'm going to share a wonderful photograph of me, Molotovich, and Rainy Cakes as Roger Waters intended. Tech. As Roger Waters intended, a photo of the three of us.
Roger Waters intended that photograph of the three of us. Probably want me to finish the lyric. Look at this photograph!
In the flesh.
In the flesh. The flesh. My favorite lyric on the album.
But that was also here. Let me just go into browser mode real quick. Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh, I should have cleared my history before I pulled that up.
When's your birthday, dude? I got no what I'm getting you.
Of Smog watch. Not just the Hobbit watch.
There and back again to midnight.
In the flesh, Roger Waters performing the wall live with that awesome. Yeah, someone send this to Y2K Aesthetic Institute because, as we've mentioned before, this is what Y2K design was actually like. Instead of the only the 5 cool things that came out of it. Everyone thinks
Designer Republic.
God. All right, so here comes the photo.
Fallout.
Wait, what?
this whole thing has been to show that he's going to show a photo of him and Molotovich and Raining Cakes, which has been built up just
It's taking 10 years.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I had to find it on my phone, and but that's fine because I needed an excuse to segue to browser mode anyway. I
I
found
want
it.
to know more about that wooden watch. Like,
wouldn't you like to know?
Watch me.
Benedict
There it is,
comes-
folks.
Aw.
In
Did
the
you say
flesh.
Benedict
Isn't that
Overwatch?
cute?
That's cute.
Look how cute you are.
Aw.
Wow. Oh,
Post-COVID.
shout out for the VHS shirt in there. Thank you for rocking that to a.
Nice.
But yeah, total sweethearts. And Molotovich is just as ripped IRL as he appears online.
Hell yeah.
Pretty good. Tear me limb from limb, but his heart is too gentle to allow him to give in to those urges. So
You should consider becoming a registered massage therapist. Like
100%, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess whenever Electronicon 3 finally happens, I guess it would be called 3Con. And I haven't thought about that. Someone said that, Shiny Crystal Pistol said in the chat, it should be called 3Con.
3 Electronicon.
3 Electronicon, that's really clever.
So yeah, so I use the photos faces, and I keep this as the face on my Apple Watch, so I can remind myself that Roger Waters lost his father in World War II and never fully recovered from that trauma.
Is that true? Is that what all his music's about? Isn't that why he never wrote a love song?
The only love song I think Roger Waters ever wrote, probably Pigs on the
Money.
Wing. Pigs on the Wing, parts 1 and 2. I think you could call that pairing a love song because all the chaos and the nastiness of modern society is contained within the album of Animals, and yet it's bookended with these sweet little acoustic ballads in which Roger Waters is basically saying the world is shit, but it's all right because at least you also think that the world is shit, and we can be happy together. Any
he's
fool
probably just
knows.
talking to his friend.
Every fool knows a dog needs a home, Tech. Shelter from pigs on the wing. You know? That we can hide we can hide out from the fucking viral ads together in our little dojo.
I think dogs are more than capable of fending for themselves.
We don't need to go there.
Have any of you heard I don't know if I'm missing the boat, or I feel like this is pretty 2021. Maybe it's a year old or so. But there's sort of another. I feel like this happens every 20 years, maybe 15 years. There's another surge of a modern take on post-punk that's been happening with a lot of these very angular.
Bad.
What?
IMO.
What'd you say, Kevin?
It's almost always bad too. IMO.
I like some things that come out every now and then. It's not like the Strokes and the Vines and the Highs and all that jazz. But the more the darker sort of post-punk stuff. I don't know if you remember the band Viet Cong, who changed their name from Pressure to Preoccupations or something. The worst name I've ever heard. Anyway, Viet Cong, their first album was really sick, and it was just, I feel like every generation is just oh my god, this is so great, and it's just post-punk.
Do you remember Merchandise? The band Merchandise?
Yeah.
From that was Rebecca Peak era. I ripped them off for that one song. They were real post-punk, 05 post-punk. That crew was into them, you know. That crew. Remember that
There's
crew?
there's a string of bands right now. Is it Black Country New Road or anybody know what name the band I'm trying to say? I don't know if that's their name. I think it's called something like Black Country New Road or something.
Not a touch.
Molotovich is on it. He likes to be a Graphic Patience. But like Squid is another one. What does Black MIDI sound like? We're playing with them at Levitation, right?
It's like jazz kind of.
I'm gonna do all my homework so I can, when we meet these people, I can pretend that I'm a big fan. Be like, God, yeah, oh that one
We're all
track.
watching right now.
Hopefully they're not watching right now. Oh no.
Do you think we will though? I mean, it's kind of like in insular events at separate venues.
No, I just mean the people that we're actually playing with at that venue.
At the venue, yeah.
I don't think we're gonna meet the Hives. I'd like to be like, dude, Metric System and Time. That is like my favorite song. I used to mow the lawn in high school and listen to your albums so much. I loved it.
I don't think we're gonna meet the Hives.
I'd love to meet the Hives, but they're playing on a different.
Well, anyway,
day.
there's like a slew of interesting, new, post punk or whatever. I feel, that's worth listening to, if you feel like it. If you don't, also you could alternatively not listen to it, which. So
That's the beautiful thing about music is that you can listen to it or you don't have to.
Simply.
But I'm sure we're going to hear about it either way, so bring it on. So, folks, I'd like to move things along a little bit and ask a question that I also asked earlier in the broadcast. We'll call this a broadcast now. We answered the question. We went in. We answered the question. What is better than one iPhone? And we arrived, or Apple Watch. What is better than one iPhone? The answer is one Apple Watch. What is better than one Apple Watch? The answer was 3 Apple Watches. So now I'm going to ask you once again, what is better than 3 Apple Watches?
Oof. Well, it could go a number of ways based on that logic. You could be looking at
improved wrist circulation from wearing less Apple Watches.
You could be looking at 5 Apple Watches.
Anything but 4.
You could
Maybe
be looking
6 or 7 Apple Watches.
3 times whatever the original was, so 9 Apple Watches.
Fighting Island says 1 N-gauge, which is correct.
That's true.
That could be
That's
a part
true.
of the pattern has not emerged yet.
The QD version.
Not possibly know.
Yeah,
N-gauge
it's gotta be a
QD only. No, obviously the answer is 4 Apple Watches. And Luke gets to be king. Oh, yes. So, this is the point of the broadcast in which I am going to need my fellow Neo Gaia companions to make sure that they keep themselves centered in the frame.
Neo Gaia.
Mark is just Vin
about
Diesel
family.
now, which is wonderful.
Family. It's about family. Because that's what people are tweeting about. It's a meme about family. So I'm referencing it now.
And now we have 2 separate hands to play with here, which I think is really just like real life. We have 2 hands to play with. This is great,
And just like real life, you cannot move your hands in unison.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We can fix that here.
We need to get some of the clicking texture of those nails touching the glass screen. That would be nice.
There we go.
You can hear it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh.
DJ Apple Watch.
Truly beautiful.
It's like a dancing kind of thing.
So we are still waiting for a proper DAW to appear on the Apple Watch platform. But it turns out that all this thing is really good for is there's not a lot of sort of standalone kind of apps that run on it. It's really just about displaying data from other applications that are paired with your iPhone. I do
What
have
do you think they're what? I was just gonna ask, what do you think their end goal here is with
Money.
with the Well, yeah, I just mean like they tend to have things to be further part of like some sort of longer mission, but maybe not.
Well, so the Apple Watch, and if you are plugged in to the Apple ecosystem, the Apple Watch, just like any other Apple thing, enhances that experience. For example, when I open my MacBook Air, I don't even have to unlock it with my finger because it senses my Apple Watch. And so as I'm opening it, it connects to the Apple Watch and then unlocks the computer, and then my watch like vibrates a little as I'm opening it.
Gosh.
And it's super cool.
Hey, James. James, do you have the cellular data plan for your watch?
I have the cellular version of the watch, but I've opted out of the $10 a month because so far there hasn't been a point in time where I'm like, oh man, if only I could access the internet on my watch without my phone being nearby, because I just always have my phone in my pocket.
I had a vision of using that functionality if I upgrade my watch ever. Mine doesn't have that, but if I had your watch, I would get that plan, and then if I went on like one of those long bike trips, I would just not bring my phone so I could actually detox but still be reached by like phone and text but not have email or any apps really. It's like seems like a potentially really cool use of like just a watch being an actual phone.
Mm-hmm.
You could even like take the straps off and just use it as like a tiny little phone.
You can make phone calls with it?
Yeah.
My boss used to use the cellular shit all the time because he would like forget his phone at like random places. Like he would just put it down and then like leave.
My mom.
And like he was just like that. But he'd be like on the job, like soldering some pipe, and then like get a call from a prospective client or something, and then just be able to like answer on the spot and like talk.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So when you get it and you open the box, it's just like this, and so
that could
it
be
is like
your
a
phone.
tiny phone, which is like kind of like,
Yeah.
welcome to the future. This is my iPhone, and I mean you can make calls with it. You can send texts with it, either drawing in the characters with your finger one by one, or just speaking to it, which has gotten very good over the years. Like I see, Kevin, you just texted, said, "Be sure to show this." Okay, we'll get to that, and I'll say, "Yeah, no worries, Kevin. I'll get right on that!" Exclamation point.
This is like an early 2010s satire. Like, let me just pull out my tiny phone.
Yeah, it's like Saturday Night Live fucking bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
yeah, I guess Zoolander. Yeah.
I
What is this, a phone for ants?
I was just talking about like Zoolander for the first time in easily 60 years, right? Like literally yesterday, Tech. Like literally yesterday, I did the joke about the files are in the computer, where he takes the old CRT iMac and smashes it because he thinks that
Right inside the.
and they're like, "You idiot!" Because you can't retrieve the data on a computer that's smashed. Okay, maybe audiences bought that back then, but we're a little bit smarter now. All right, we know the difference between phones and watches, and we say that.
Is Zoolander's the one where like there's like a scene pretty early on in the movie where it's got to be that, because it's like him and like all of his like male model friends, and they like pull up to a gas station and they get into a gasoline fight.
Yeah.
They're just spraying gasoline.
I don't remember a lot of details. I remember the files in the computer joke. I remember when someone says that are like I'm anorexic or no, like I'm bulimic, and he's like, oh, you can see the future. I remember that
you
joke.
can read lines or something.
Or, something like that. But that's all I remember.
There's some
Probably all we need to remember.
Yeah, it's probably for the best we don't remember most of it. I'm assuming it hasn't aged well, like most movies that are 20 years old, and so trying to be funny.
Blue Steel.
Well, I mean that's the challenge. If you ever watch a comedy that hasn't been made within like 1 year of release, it's going to be full of things that will make you feel very uncomfortable because the social changes in society are very slow, but they are constant. You know, like I remember watching Office Space at my parents' house over Christmas or something, and just being like blown away by the amount of like homophobic, like everything they call everyone is like a cock smoker, like cock gobblers, like, you know, or like, you know, making fun of men for not being masculine, you know, and that kind of stuff. It's like, I don't really remember all this. Like, everyone's a cock gobbler. Like, this is kind of weird, you know? Like, what? Like, why are they so aggressively homophobic? Like, it really feels like they're like covering or something, you know? But that was 1998, you know? It was a different world.
It really was.
Yeah, that's still like, and that one's still regarded as like a classic.
But it still is like that movie is.
I mean, there's still like very funny ideas.
Yeah, like some of the funniest ideas ever in a movie are in that movie, and it's undeniable. Yeah. But it's also extremely problematic. But I think that's it's like, is this film worth it? You know, and a lot of times it's not worth it.
It's a personal decision, and there's no objective truth to it. So
but there's no objective truth at all, really.
You just become the dad who. I remember my dad always suggesting the comedy movie, The Party. I don't know if you've heard of it, but don't even Google it.
All right.
It's starring Peter Sellers or something, and it's him in like brown face. And that apparently isn't offensive to my dad, but you know, he's obsessed with the comedy, which also is not funny because it's from like the 70s or 80s. So, but me suggesting to a 19-year-old that Ace Ventura is the funniest movie and that he's a hilarious Jim Carrey character, that may be true to me on some level, but it's also a transphobic train wreck the entire time of that movie. Yeah. So it's
well, yeah, I mean,
I'm just
everything.
Not gonna recommend that to anybody.
Everything made before 2019 probably is extremely transphobic, and it looks like Zoolander included.
Most likely.
I mean, I remember baby boomers thinking that Tootsie is like the funniest. Like all those like what's the American Film Institute, AFI, like 50 funniest movies of all time. I remember like seeing a show about like in the 90s through the early 2000s. It was always Tootsie. Tootsie is the funniest movie ever made because it's about men who wear dresses for some reason. And it's like, I don't... I guess I'm just not boomer enough. Tootsie movie. Yeah, that's Tootsie. According to AFI...
I just remember always seeing that at the video store.
Always, yeah, like, this is the funniest movie ever made. It's unbelievable. And then, of course, we grew up with Mrs. Doubtfire, you know.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah, you know, times, they change. But that doesn't mean that the past changes, just our perception of it, which is important to remember. Tech, I think that you said once, you know, like 20 years from now, people are going to look back at us and be like, oh my god.
Yeah,
wow.
100 years. If 100 years from now, everybody doesn't look back and think that everybody right now is dog trash, then that generation has failed, probably, right? At least failed according to the mission, the current mission.
It's like, yeah, they compared everything to like garbage and like trash and like dumpster fires and like, you know, real, like, that's just not cool for some reason. Yeah, I don't know.
After the trash is like completely taken over and ruined. It's like...
As Philadelphia just grows slowly but surely.
There's like a tiny, so we're like a tiny watch that's only half.
So yeah, it's not. So
and now the hand is on the wrong side.
All right, everyone, calm down. All right, you want to come up with a way to do browser mode and still have our faces in it? I didn't want to have to do all the green screen.
That's
shit.
the new Apple.
Yeah.
I just thought we're like an overlay. It's like Japanese. It's like Japanese television where they always show the reaction of the panelists while they're watching like the news story or whatever. That's what's going on here. But we're in a more tiny Apple Watch up in the corner. So there you go. It's a pink one.
I get it.
Right.
So what's the status of the Final Fantasy XI concept that we've been talking about doing.
Well,
for
so
show?
the reason why we're not in Final Fantasy XI right now is I didn't have the time or willpower. This is Philadelphia slowly growing, by the way. It grows like berserk. And that gross stuff on the ground that gets bigger as you build the base, that's all the trash on the street in Philadelphia. Just kind of spitting out. Anyway, the Final Fantasy XI thing is put on hold until I get boot camp up and running on an external drive, which I've done before, but then I had to wipe that drive to do something with it. Now I need to wipe it again. It's a whole thing, and I have to use like parallel, and it's a big.
We're all gonna have to do that though. That sounds complicated.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm going to Alaska. I'm going to Alaska for 2 weeks at the start of August. So should we wait until I get back, maybe, before start that, or do you want to?
Do you know where you're going?
I'm gonna go see Jewel, and I want to see if there are any monuments to Jewel, as there should be. Jewel, Alaska's greatest exporter.
She's still there.
Jewel, she's still there.
Exists.
I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna eat some crab, with her. I hope.
Sure.
Sorry, Mark. Sorry, Kevin. But
it's okay.
Crabs are freaks.
Well, yeah, they're below the karma line, so it's okay.
Are you talking about crabitalism?
Oh boy.
There is no ethical consumption of crustaceans.
So, it's funny.
Crabitalism.
This is kind of how I feel right now. After going around the city with that 11-pound box under my left arm, I'd say that it's a little yellow right now. If I picked up something heavy, it might, get the thing where your muscles are overworked. Kevin, I'm sure you don't experience that because you're so ripped.
Pump.
You need to get an Apple Watch so we can check your gains.
I wish there was a way to measure that on the watch, because
it reads your muscles through the lens.
Weightlifting doesn't always get your heart rate up like cardio, so it's harder to gauge. I'd be a lot more interested in it if it's I've been instructed not to do cardio.
Do you go to a gym, or do you have weights at home, or what do you do?
I got weights at home, but I've been going to the gym 5 days a week, and I got a personal trainer there too.
Oh damn! You really leaned into this as part of your identity brand.
So, Kevin, we talked about this a little bit, and I think that this might be a great topic of discussion on an episode centered around tracking body vitals with wearable technology. You mentioned that you've been instructed not to do cardio, and I'm just wondering what is your end fitness goal in which you feel that cardio is not for you?
Well, I guess don't do additional cardio, because I already get so much just riding my bike as my main form of transportation. So there's no need for me to use the treadmill at the gym.
Right.
I did a
that answers that. Moving on.
You want to get ripped though. That's your end goal, right?
Yeah. I'd like to increase muscular density, and also my body fat percentage is so low that I don't really have a whole lot to spare. When you do cardio, it's either going to burn fat, or if you don't have any fat, it burns your muscle, unless you eat enough food to replenish the calories that you've lost.
Fun fact.
I'm eating at a caloric surplus.
Oh, I'm not.
So more calories than I'll burn during just living day-to-day maintenance calories, and then that's what goes into your muscles.
That was the same process that I used to gain weight. I was 122 pounds, I think, at my lowest as an adult or whatever. And so I gained 40 pounds by using that method of not doing any cardio, eating 4,000 calories a day, and going to the gym.
I'm getting some flashes. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a second.
Okay.
Kevin, I'm wondering if you would be interested in sharing your personal fitness progress with the chat. I know that we get more likes when your physique is put on a platform here. If you'd like to just, turn off your background and flex your biceps, I think that would really be a positive direction for this episode to take right now.
I haven't even done any workouts today. It's nothing impressive.
That's not true.
Come on, flex it.
Milker cam.
Wow. Look at that.
Look at that.
What a beast.
That is
Impressive.
a fit man.
Yeah.
So now I've dropped myself back in, and this is really fun because, look, now we have a shuffle going on. Welcome to Dino Hour.
What's going on?
Oh,
I
you
can't
can't
see.
see.
We can't see it.
Oh my god. I see now. Yeah, welcome to Dino Hour 2.
Dino Day.
We'll be talking about me being generally miserable, flex tech. I don't think so. I don't think so in FIA 64. That's embarrassing.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Kevin. I just thought that would be fun for our viewers at home.
Kevin's got what it takes.
You're looking good. Yeah.
Thank you, my dudes.
I don't have the physique for that, but I prefer a very svelte look.
I feel you.
So what are the other topics for today, Tech?
Yeah, we'll talk about how miserable just existence in general.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. You know, been off meds, so right. We can talk about just right on the edge of maybe is this edgy or not? I don't know. Is this a hot take? I don't really know. Did Tech really formulate this opinion all the way? Because it sounds a little like Swiss cheese in places, and when I offer a rebuttal, it sort of feels like he sort of ignores it, moves into something else. So we can do that. We could. So
Now, does that concept compared with the tape, or
is that concept?
or is the
compared
whole concept was the tape?
Well, that's what Dino Hour is about. It's about trying to figure out what the show's about. And so that's what we do. And so then when I, say that it's okay to be a defeatist nihilist, and then there's pushback, and then the pushback is like just kind of dismissed.
Well, I think that it's pretty unfair of anyone to tell you what it's okay to be or not to be. Whatever works best for you. It's like One of Tricks Point Never. Someone asked him about the cover of which is the one with the skeleton on the front.
The spaghetti on the.
Yeah. He was like, he's like, yeah, I just put spaghetti on a skeleton because I like to laugh at things that scare me, and death scares me. But you can't be afraid of a skeleton if it has a bunch of spaghetti on its head. So, and who is anyone to say that that's wrong?
But finally, we would probably talk about snacks. As everyone knows, I'm snackman. Pizza, and attempt to navigate that conversation without showing too much brand, without accidentally making the stream like a commercial for a bunch of brands, you know what I mean? But then it inevitably happens anyway.
Well, we are here literally inside of an Apple advertisement, and I've been talking a lot about the Apple ecosystem. But it's
Neo Gaia.
It's true. Apple and Sega are the two brands that can advertise to me without me feeling upset about it.
Sega?
That's my
I
personal
never
choice.
noticed that spaghetti.
Yeah, isn't that
On the
crazy?
head?
It's just straight up spaghetti on a skull, and a man holding a photograph of it. That is
Wow.
Codex did just wanted to come in and say, I like the setup today. Tech Honors would make the best Siri, because he'd be like, okay, you got an alarm for something, but you don't got to do it. I appreciate it.
I don't know if that would be the best Siri.
Well, to be or not to be. To be Hornet.
To be Frank, or to be James.
To be pencil.
And it's also kind of fun because it says virtual right there. So it's, we're vaporwave. So you have
Yeah.
virtual
I
things.
feel like I'm very talented when I'm operating in this mirror mode and I point at something and there's a slight delay, like in what I see on the screen, from what I do in real life. And so when you're like, hey, where it says virtual, and in my brain I have to think, I gotta point the direction that I don't think I gotta point. But then I do it and then I see it on screen. It's a overwhelming sense of satisfaction.
I always fuck it up and feel frustrated. Tech, you would be a great weatherman, or you would have done good on Nick Arcade. Remember we were talking about Nick Arcade? Was that on air? That we were talking about Nick Arcade?
I think maybe. I don't know. I feel like we were talking about like that show where they're like where they're in the video game.
That's Nick Arcade.
Yeah. I feel like we were talking about that.
Is it like a game show, or is it just like?
It was a game show from the '90s where they would play console games.
Conceptually so
yeah.
incredible, I would be overwhelmed with joy watching it as a child.
Yeah, it was like you would catch it on TV and be like,
like this is that show. This is that
the show where they play video games. I'm gonna get to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Face Off.
They didn't have that in Canada, but they did have Video and Arcade Top 10. I don't know if you've heard of that one. No?
No.
It's the same show, I think, but like possibly reskinned with re-edited footage. I'm not sure.
Where they like dub in them saying sorry.
Probably. Yeah.
So so here are the kids playing. All right, so they're entering the world of the video games, which is just vaporwave fumes, right?
No, it's so awesome. Look.
And so you're a kid watching this, and you're like, "Whoa, they're inside the TV! Look how sick this is!" And they're actual hitboxes that, like, if their green screen footage hits, it keeps track of how much power they have. But as you can see, it's totally impossible.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to space camp, kid. That was always the grand prize, was going to space camp, which sounded like just the coolest fucking place on Earth, because you get to go in the shuttle trainer and do simulations. Oh man, I remember that robot. It's so scary. What are you supposed to jump over it? What are you supposed to do? God,
it doesn't make any sense. It's like oh yeah, Molotov says seeing video game footage on TV is so interesting. The movie Beethoven had Super Mario 3.
Oh, nice.
Beethoven. Wow,
I remember seeing that movie, The Wizard.
That was the one I was thinking of, yeah.
Because it was before Mario 3 came out, and it was totally mind-blowing. And it's even like a plot point in the movie is that the game hadn't come out yet. And he finally gets to the competition. They're like, "You're gonna play something you've never played before, Super Mario 3." But he read the Game Pro, so he knew how to get the whistle in the first worlds, and that allows him to crush the competition.
Sick! It's
so true. It's so good, yeah. I mean, that's
if you
what.
Subscribe to Game Pro, you too will know.
Dude, this game is fucking awesome. This show is still sick. I don't know about this one. This one looks...
Look at that bald-ass teacher.
Can we run this in real time
on
the show?
Baldy, get out of here.
James has bald privilege.
That's right. Oh, this one's so sick. No, watch out for the haunted statues. Yeah, so Vaporwave, look, he has to collect 3 Helios busts.
Nice.
Oh.
Whoa, we just went into dark mode. You just
that.
saw it happen in real time.
Dude, he's getting eaten alive. Oh.
Holy shit.
He completed the level. Oh, but what happened next? Did he make it to space camp?
So we may never know.
Oh, those bananas are very satisfying. Oh, look, he has to actually climb the trees. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Look how cool that is. Man.
I want to see some behind the scenes of this, like green ladders and shit. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
And it's like, as a kid, you know they're not in the video game, but it's like, but you also don't understand.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that you're just like, there's enough like not understanding to be like, maybe.
It's like
I don't understand.
It's like when I listened to the Downward Spiral when I was a kid. And it was like, I couldn't understand how those sounds were being made. All electronic music, like, as a kid, it's just, like, mystifying.
Yeah.
It's like, how do the Chemical Brothers do this? What? What are they using exactly? And then I remember seeing, like, some like early footage of the Chemical Brothers like playing now as an adult and being like, I still don't understand what they're doing. Like, I guess they have samplers, but like how do those work? You know?
It seemed like I feel like all the way up until like I started using Ableton, I didn't understand how samples were used in music. I didn't understand how they made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember even like thinking like listening to Kid A when it came out and like thinking about it a lot and being like, I just simply like it seemed like every single thing on the album was intentional because in my brain that was like in a rock band, like everything you do is like you have to like do it, like you have to be a demand of it.
Like the concept of an arpeggiator is like,
well, yeah, or the concept of
excuse me,
just weird atmosphere happening.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they were like articulating every second of that, and it's not. It's like, you know, it's part of it is just the, you know, throw something in the computer and see what comes back.
Well,
kind of.
you know, early days though, using an Akai sampler with like a compact flash card or like even a floppy disk would have been pretty forward thinking for like making stuff like that, like adding texture and like using sample libraries. So, like, I don't know, there'd be like a weird learning curve versus like us just getting cracked Ableton or whatever.
But I still think about, but like Happiness and Slavery, like that came out in like 1992, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you make Happiness and Slavery in 1992? Like, how do you make something that? How? Like, it's to this day, I'm like, I don't understand because that is so fucking sick.
I always think
Kai rack sampler hooked up to a MIDI keyboard, and
the problem is, to me, the problem has more to do with like how like computer processing power in like putting Pretty Hate Machine by Nine Inch Nails. The album came out in '89, which means it was, you know, made either in 1989 or before. And like computer processing power, I mean,
made on a Mac. They made that on like a Mac 2 or some shit, where you had to like hard process commit to like all of your effects. Like there was no real time previews of digital effects. It was like you had to bake the reverb like onto the wave files because that's just how like trackers and shit works. You know,
a lot of that stuff too is like it's a combination of hardware and software. Like there's going to be sequencing going on the computer end that's like triggering like a hardware sampler or something, and then it's being re-recorded back into the computer.
Then doesn't it? Oh, okay. Didn't they like? Isn't there like still an element of having to like wait on your computer to like you know, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on like what you're recording on too, because a lot of people too just used like computer programs for sending MIDI signals like into samplers and then like rack mounted effects and then recorded that to tape. So it's like you've got like an element of a real mixing board and like an actual mixing engineer like adding effects in real time with real sends and like real rack processing stuff and like going to tape.
Weird.
So, well, what I learned from the sample at the beginning of that Daft Punk song where Giorgio Moroder's talking, and he's like, we want a click, and so we put the click, and I thought that this could be the sound of the future. So that, I think it has something to do with a click, maybe? Look up Click.
The movie starring Adam Sandler.
I did a bunch of reading into like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis's production on like the Janet Jackson records, and like that is all made on like Akai and Emu rack samplers. Nice. And it's like the sequencing is done on like an actual hardware sequencer fed into hardware samplers, fed into like preamps, into a board, into effects, and then onto tape.
So Pretty Hate Machine was sequenced and recorded on a Macintosh Plus, which is fucking insane because that thing, I think it maxes out at 2 megabytes of RAM with a like a 33. No, not 33, like maybe like a 20 megahertz processor or something like that, you know? Like, I don't even, it's truly difficult to comprehend and it had an 8-inch black and white screen. You know, we've been inside one. You know what it's like to be inside a Macintosh Plus. It is not a powerful computer. Trent Reznor is a Macintosh hero for sure.
Okay, yeah, the demo for Pretty Hate Machine was done
Well, if it's just sequencing, then it's just sending MIDI notes
MIDI data, but still, that's fucking sick.
Basically,
man.
Kevin believes that it was very quick and easy for Trent to make this album.
Well, it's a lot of it's all hardware stuff, like he was saying.
Dragging and dropping, and having to see the timeline on a screen versus like just having a rack like of synths. Like it feels like it would be a lot easier to do it.
Yeah.
With the computer, even if it's just MIDI.
You would certainly look cooler with a rack full of synths and compressors, and I know that's what it's about for a lot of people, but it's it's really not necessary unless you're getting paid. I feel like you shouldn't have a bunch of hardware, like a shitload of hardware, unless you're like really making a lot of money. I mean, like if you have enough money to like have like a big house with like a real ass studio, then it's like, okay, you're clearly important enough that you need this stuff because your shit is being heard by millions. Like you got it. But I don't know, plugins are fine for now.
Cheap stuff, But it's not. I've tried so hard to factor hardware into my workflow, like so many times, and it just never clicks. I'm just so used to everything in the box, and I mean, like I went to school for recording and shit, and like I'm used to that studio workflow of actually miking everything and sending it through a board and recording into tape. But like once I discovered you could just do all of that in Ableton using soft synths and like sampled drums in Ableton and stuff, it just like it kind of just took me out of it.
Yeah, it feels like hardware synths and like those guys who are like really into modular synthesis and stuff like that. A lot of the time, it definitely feels like the same sort of thing as like when people when people get really into gear.
Right. Yeah. It's a fun toy.
It's just like fun to play with, but like it's not indicative of any quality.
But just like me and my Apple shit, and Jay Leno and his old cars. When we were at Josh's house, when Josh showed me his modular setup in Japan, I was like, I'm in. I want all of this. I want a modular briefcase with a bunch of shit. And it took a couple weeks to get over it. But there was a second there I was like Googling, components online and thinking about it. It's like, stop! You have a fucking laptop computer with digital audio workstations and like 10,000 plugins. You're fine. You don't need it.
You guys know I bought a ton of synths and I made an amazing Tower of Power rack, and it just like I tried really hard to integrate it into my workflow and I just couldn't. I sold them all.
Damn. Yeah. You just gotta. It's just
I like having that clean desk,
Yeah.
I never. I'm sorry. No, please, Mark. If you're speaking, I'm not.
I was just saying, going into the studio recently, and I think I sent you guys all pictures of it. It's like every time I go to a studio to record something, I just leave wanting to spend like $19,000 on things. I do not know what they even do. They just look really cool and have a bunch of switches. And there's the guy who's engineering is just sort of like, he's clearly just using Pro Tools, but he's all touching a bunch of stuff constantly. But he's still just using like a Mac. I don't know. It's like it's like a shopping experience more than it is like a engineering experience. But still.
James, what are you getting so?
Okay, so Mark, when you were speaking, I was thinking about the UA compressors. That was
my God.
The one piece of hardware. Like if I could have anything, that's what like the
UAD,
like the CLA 76 compressor that we use all the time, like the actual hardware compressor that is based on, like the greatest blue compressor of all time. That would be sick to have, like IRL. You know what I mean? Like sick.
I wouldn't know how to use it.
But it is a slippery slope. What I was gonna say was about Trent Reznor, and I think that this picture, my entire life. So one of my really good friends in middle school, she was like obsessed with Nine Inch Nails. And middle school for me was like 1996 through 1998. And so it was like prime time Nine Inch Nails. And she was like, Trent Reznor was her like celebrity crush, like pictures all over her room and stuff. And like, I always felt like Trent Reznor's like mug is like so normal. Like, he just looks like a dad, like
he's jacked though. Look at him.
Well, he's
jacked there.
he's jacked here, and then he got addicted to heroin, then got unjacked. But his face has always just been so like not scary or intimidating to me.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know. He just never.
That's part of the charm, though. You know, he's got the sweet looks, but he can
I
be
feel like
ferocious.
I feel like there's a creepiness to him in the Downward Spiral era. Like if you watch the music videos for like Closer and March of the Pigs, like there's like a, I think it's the weird fact that like that picture is like unsettling.
It's
just unsettling to me. It feels like that guy is like it feels like he's like
could be Joker-fied.
Yeah, he's just too. I don't trust that individual.
like, okay, when you see him move, right, it makes more sense. You know, like in the March of the Pigs videos where he's all stumbling around and throwing his mic stand. It's like, okay, that makes sense. But like, when I would see a picture like that, you know, it's just like, he just looks like a dude.
Yeah, he just looks like a dude. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But God love him. Yeah. Where would we be without Trent Reznor? I mean, this guy...
Go back like one or two screens for the first shot of him, like when he's a bit older. The top left, left there. Yeah, here we go. That photo of him with a yellow background, that's what I feel like you're talking about. To me, I'm just like... He's just a...
James, underneath the person's thumb.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That picture
doesn't matter. I mean, they're all kind of the same, but that particular picture to me is just like, that's his final form of dad.
Yeah, I mean, pretty hate machine, like, you know, and broken. And weird videos where we like ate people, and I was in crazy bondage gear, and you know, everything was like sexual fetish stuff. Like, it was real scary, you know, because it was the '90s.
I started watching a bunch of like live performance videos of like fairly recent Nine Inch Nails, and it's like it's still sick. Like it's just like a different. It's slightly different. It's not as like he's not all about the creepy thing as much anymore as he is just kind of like you're gonna stumble, you're gonna accidentally.
No, it's all good. I'm not. We're not watching the Happiness of Slavery video.
Yeah.
This video. This made me have... this opened windows of darkness in my soul. The Pinion video, for those not familiar, it is just horrifying. And that was right when like Quake was out, and it was just like Quake and Doom and the Pinion video, and just Nine Inch Nails was just this maelstrom of darkness that was somehow a part of massive consumption, popular culture, you know? It was back when everyone was still on the same page, and like everyone understood the world somehow, because it was being dictated to them by those who had the means of mass communication before any idiot in the world could, you know, make an album and have 10 people like it. And here we are.
Josh said a friend of mine burned the Broken movie on DVD for me back in high school. You'll have to, people in the chat, if you want to learn more about the Broken video, I recommend reading about it first.
Read the Wikipedia article. It's true that there was, or at least the urban legend was, that there was a FBI investigation into it because they thought that there were acts of cannibalism on it, and they thought that parts of it were actual snuff films showing people dying. It turns out...
It is an urban legend. It is an urban legend. I recently read all about the Broken video. I can't watch it, but I wanted to know. It is. It's basically as much as you can do. It is. It's as over the top bad as you can be.
And it was so taboo, like, to be like a kid in the late 90s, and there's this like double VHS with that like downward spiral, like creepy, just nasty stuff on it. And it's like the one dude who's like, mom lets him smoke weed in the house, like, he's got it, like, and it's like, are you sure you want to go watch it?
There is so just about the broken video, since I just recently like learned about it or whatever. Please. Trent, he contacted the director and was like, hey, do you want to make like just the darkest, most metal thing that you can possibly make? He's like, yeah, I'm down. So they made it, and initially the label was expecting to be able to release it as like a promotional video. I mean, they let them see it, and then the label was like, not only can you not use this as a promotional video, but like even if you cannot even release this to the public, we cannot, because we cannot have it even being coming back to us in any way. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, all right. So Trent just made like a handful of copies, and he blacked out certain portions, like just like a short segment of just black on each individual copy at different parts. So no two copies were the same.
So sick.
So that if it was somehow able to be distributed at some point, there would be a
watermark.
Yeah, there would be. He would know which one it can be traced back to, and in a message to to his like online community or whatever, he explained that, and then also like this was like decades later, he explained that, and then he said, so thanks a lot, and then he said the guy's name, and he only said their first name, but it is, I guess, pretty accepted that it was the guy from like the lead singer of the Butthole Surfers. The lead singer of the Butthole Surfers.
Wow, that's dark, man. That's super dark.
Yeah, he was like the one who ended up posting it online, and then it got circulated from his copy.
But the Butthole Surfers,
Codex got it.
Yeah, they're a different kind of dark though. Butthole Surfers, man. They were weird.
Yeah,
pretty cool though.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was pretty fascinating. But for sure, like genuinely, you really should just read about the broken video if you can, just like in an informational way, like a Wikipedia article or something. I don't know, because it is it's ridiculous.
It's just like it's like creepypastas and like mysterious videos that appear on YouTube that are like haunted and shit. It was just that for the VHS generation. Every generation wants something to.
But it's like an early form of viral success, because there was like a video store that sold bootleg copies of it, and sold something like 20,000 copies of this, a bunch of money off of it, without Trent getting any of it. But it was it's like a weird, it was passed around between people, and sort of like the, I guess, Faces of Death was probably a similar thing back then. But anyway, it was pretty fascinating, pretty interesting.
Yeah, we love Nine Inch Nails.
They are my third favorite.
Nine Inch Nails is one of the most influential artists on me as a musician, hands down, no denying it.
I would say they are the number one for me, with Radiohead maybe right behind them.
That's a tough list. Because I have to, if I'm being like objective and looking at my music and being like, what is this truly actually inspired by? What is this Like there was a period like listening to Nine Inch Nails and Silent Hill soundtracks, and that is all I wanted HCMJ to sound like. You know, like and failing miserably at it. Like that's what Power Plant was supposed to be, and then like I listened to it and it's like it's like Hard Oasis or something.
Kevin0780 said, "Did Butthole Surfers ever get radio play with their name?" They did. They had a hit in the '90s called Pepper.
Huge, massive smash hit.
Like it was a huge hit. It is awesome. That song fucking rules.
I know.
And as well. Yeah.
We should sub out one of our stupid playlist picks for Pepper.
Oh my.
So speaking of music,
I'll take the hit. I'll sub out. I'll keep a Quip and Johnny Cash. Take out whatever the third one was.
AOA.
Yeah, we don't get that out. That's just the Sound of Summer, but we don't need that.
Oh wow, it's already basically playlist time.
Yeah, well
That's
here,
crazy.
why don't we take a little trip? Everyone hold your breath because we're gonna start underground and we're gonna see where we end up.
We're not quite finished yet.
Reverse.
We have one more thing.
Welcome to Apple World Headquarters and the Steve Jobs Theater. Snipers on the roof. Watch out. Snipers on the roof. Snipers on the roof. Going down. Whoa!
Great
We're back in here.
Yeah, see, we don't need the green screens. I think it's kind of cuter without it. Because we're all squared off today.
We'd
The
love
way I
to
have
make
things cropped, so
technology
that works.
more personal.
So there, Tim Cook is unveiling Apple Watch back in 2014. So it's fun to think about Apple Watch is the same for the rest of time. Apple Watch will be the same age as Definition itself.
Entirely
A little bit younger, but still
we
came
believe
from
this
2014
product will
and
redefine
is thriving today, just like us.
what
It's kind
people
of fun to think
expect
about.
from this category.
All right. Well, I went first, or I'm going first because I.
I am
Yeah,
so
let me pull up the
excited,
right thing here.
and I am so proud
Oh God. Oh yeah.
to share it with you this morning.
Okay.
It is
This artist
next chapter
it has Hangul in their artist name and the song name.
Wait a second.
So-
I'm so sorry,
Okay.
Ty.
Uh huh.
What are we shooting for here? What will these picks reveal about us?
Damn.
Which era of Trent Reznor are we?
Which Apple series watch are you?
Oh, that's a little less.
They're all
interesting.
so similar.
Yeah.
So it's like which era based on our? You know, so like with
Okay.
Keith era or
Or are you hesitation marks era?
right or Add Violence era or Twin Peaks season 3, which I think would be Add Violence era.
drug sick era.
But it's worth
She's gone away.
all eras of Trent Reznor are awesome.
So the Dragon Tattoo era.
Girls Dragon?
Ooh, watch it
Okay,
click.
yeah.
Here it goes. Yeah.
We were just talking before the show started about how just overtly sexual this.
This is Apple Watch. I'm sorry, being introduced to the world, and it is one of the most sexually charged Apple videos I think that has ever been made. I mean, look at this. It's
over the top.
Stainless steel.
I guess there's not as much. It's like.
Oh, it's coming together. Watch it buckle. Watch it buckle. Come on.
And it kind of jiggles a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, the flower's blooming, opening itself.
There's audio on the keynote.
Oh shit, my bad. Thank you for that.
B, we were just talking about how overtly sexual the ad is.
Yeah, it's very overtly sexual.
Anyway, okay. First pick is, like I said, has Hangul in the name, so I don't know. Maybe James, maybe you can read it. The artist is Shadow Community, and the song is Restless Song.
My Hangul is out. I forget all the vowels. So I know in the second character, it's like there's no consonant there, and then there's like a YE vowel or something. But yeah, I'm not the one to do this.
It's fine. So I have been using Spotify lately, which I normally only use when I'm just like, I don't know this song, I need to listen to this or something, or just to listen to Death Dynamic Shroud so I get paid a small amount. But yeah, I've been discovering there's these Spotify curated playlists, which, I mean, obviously I knew about, like virtual reality and vaporwave and all that stuff, hyperpop, but there's these really pretentiously named ones like Oblique. And this one's good, all lowercase, Noir. And my personal favorite, Terra Incognita. Anyway, they tend to, I mean, at least with Oblique and Terra Incognita, they tend to play like stuff that's a little more like up my alley, but that I would not find out about any other way.
It's all based on a vibe, not a scene, right?
It's all based on a vibe, and sometimes it hits, and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce their name, Nitiski, who Keith just did like artwork for. Like they're on there. Also 100 Decks. Also Tom York. Also Amnesia Scanner and A.G. Cook. So, things, I like some things in there. And if I don't, Galen Tipton's in there. Anyway,
hey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to this one.
It's good. I'm telling you, sometimes. Right. But anyway, so I've been listening to those sometimes, and I think I was listening to like one that was just for slowcore, or something. I don't know. Anyway, discovered this song, Restless Song by Shadow Community, and it's kind of just breezy guitars, but there's like a dark edge to it, and has kind of Radiohead vibes, and it goes in a lot of directions for a song that's only 5 minutes long.
North, south, east, and northeast.
Oh, you. Anyway, so that's that one. Second one, I was just talking about this earlier, to the chagrin of everyone, but this is a new post-punk kind of thing. But some band called Dry Cleaning, because of course, and the song is...
Because of course.
Post-punk band name.
Yeah. The song is called Scratch Card Lanyard, and it's just a very angular guitars, just kind of dry production, and the singer, I think they're British, the singer is a woman who doesn't really sing, she just kind of like talks her, but she's like, scratch card lanyard, do everything, feel nothing, like that.
Like Chicks on Speed, or yeah, I know.
So yeah, that song is really sick though. I was excited to discover that one on the Oblique station. And then finally today I was listening to Noir, and I almost skipped this song because I'm not a big fan of as Father John Misty puts it, that soulful affectation white girls put on. And it felt like it was going to go that direction, and it didn't. Like almost in the very beginning, I was like, I'm not sure.
I fucking hate that too. It's a big barrier of entry for modern pop music for me. It's like, shut up. That's how I feel when I hear it.
I let it stay because the chord progression was really solid, and so I was like, all right, I'll see where this goes. And then it ended up having a very affecting final movement. It's only 2 minutes long or so, but yeah, the final portion of the song is just really moving, and incorporates a parallel minor 4 in its hook. I guess it only happens once, but I listened to it like 7 times today, and was moved to tears by it at some point while reading along with the lyrics. So I genuinely think it's a very, very, very good song.
We both cried today, Tech.
I was talking about
Isn't it great? It's so great to cry, isn't it? I fucking love crying. Like, being moved by something to the point in which you are crying is the best. It's like, that's what life is all about.
Very James Webster. It's a very James Webster thing. To me, it's a very I don't feel in control of
I
my.
gotta say, I regret every single time I've cried.
When you saw Mount Fuji for the first time, and we held each other and looked at it.
I wasn't like bawling my eyes out, and which I don't really do that almost ever. But yeah, like with being on fluoxetine, it hasn't been easy. I have not been able to cry at all in over a year. And so it's been happening like almost daily when I hear something really beautiful, and it's like my eyes will well up with tears, and I'll get this like feeling in my throat, my face gets hot, and I like do this, and it's like you do like that thing where you're like, because you're like, and yeah, it's sort of like, damn, I don't really remember. It's weird to feel that, but. Yeah. Anyway.
Legendary equipment makes me cry, Kevin. Is FYI. I can't take it. So it's so charged with so many memories. I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. I love you so much.
Thanks, James.
Just Equip is playing right now, and it just made me think of that.
So James's first song is by Butthole Surfer.
Oh, wait, hold on. So which era?
True.
Let's see. Shadow, Community, Dry Cleaning.
Haunted, Shadow,
Haunted.
Dry.
Came Back Haunted. What was that from?
Hesitation marks. Got the.
So what else is on Hesitation? Does anything else? Can any of this be also aligned with Hesitation marks?
Oh yes. I wanted 9 Black Alps iTunes. Thank you. 9 Inch Nails. Hesitation marks. Is there anything on here? Oh. Came Back Haunted.
A lot of those songs are, kind of, they have restless energy. It's a man who had taken a break, and he tried to do a few things, and he tried to get success with pay what you want, and he did not get it, and became disillusioned with the internet and the current generation's willingness to pay for
You might
music.
say he was disappointed, track 6 on Hesitation marks. And honestly, he, in order to release music in new and inventing new ways, he was developing various methods of escape, track 9. You might say he was running from his...
Wait, Tech, that's not the game. I don't know what game you're playing.
Yeah.
That's a different one. Those aren't the
No,
rules.
hesitation marks. Look, the era that I am is hesitation
Right,
marks.
sure. I just don't see how that relates to the 3 songs you chose. Is the only problem with this. That's all I'm saying. But it's all good.
Because Haunted.
Yeah. Came back haunted.
That song is sick.
Yeah, it was cool.
You know where we listened to that, James?
I don't recall.
We listened to it. It played on the radio in the U-Haul that you drove me from Philadelphia to Dayton in when I got.
I remember that U-Haul ride.
Yeah.
I remember that experience.
Came out 2013, and
And
it's
I remember arriving in Dayton and being like, "Oh, we're so hungry." You're like, "Oh, it's like 11. Like, what do we do?" Like, there are no diners here.
Shake.
Yeah, I'm just thinking shit.
No diners. Okay. So anyway, obviously, yeah, Butthole Surfers.
Pepper. If you're not familiar with the song, please check it out. It's a classic.
Mm-hmm. It certainly is. Has like sort of weird rapping-esque.
It's like cake style, I guess.
Yeah.
Donnie played the piano like a kid out in the rain. They were all in love with Donnie. They were doing it in Texas. I don't mind the sun sometimes in my dizzy town. It's good shit.
Sitar sounds fucking so sick, and it jams. There's a guitar solo at the end that just doesn't do anything. It's just like
reverse guitar solo too. It's got like a sick, like funky break, like.
Yeah.
Very
Man,
nice.
this song is amazing.
I'm looking forward to listening to it after the stream.
No joke. It's 48 million plays on Spotify.
Wow.
There you go.
Jeez.
Anyway, next up, you have. That's the wrong thing. You have song remixed by a little guy some of you might be familiar with. It's Wave Station by Frank Jopsy, but remixed by none other than our kid Equip.
That's right, and I put this on the playlist, and Kevin, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but we were talking about how there was some kind of mishap, and the algo missed this track being a part of your Spotify presence, and how disappointing that was, because it is so sick, and I agree and think it's sick as well, so I just wanted to put a little spotlight on it to my good friend Kevin Equip, and make sure that everyone had a chance to favorite, play, stream, enjoy, listen to home.
It's sick. It's sick too. It's always
Yeah, it's my account is actually the only one that is properly linked, but there's also remixes by Dan Mason and 3D Blast that did not get linked to their artist profiles, and it was submitted like too late. And it didn't show up on my Spotify for artists, so there wasn't enough time to submit it for release radar. So, like, every Friday it's like, oh, new music from artists you love. Like, you have to manually set that up for it to show up, and it didn't. So, Frank said he was gonna work on preparing that stuff before he started,
Yeah, because the Dan Mason and the 3D Blast links just go to like
empty profiles.
Yeah, empty profiles that only have this song. That sucks.
Yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, this was like the last like big Equip production that I did, which was like a year ago now. It's kind of crazy to think about, but
that year doesn't count though. You can just forget that.
2020 was unlike any other year.
Well, it's funny because it was. And it's going to be funny to watch when we're all old as millennials, because of the way that Gen Z was so irreverent about 9/11 and how it's just like a joke to them, even though it would just like change the whole world around us. Like, that's what the pandemic is going to be for Gen Z when they're older.
Generation Ampersand when they come up.
Right, they're going to be like, oh, the pandemic was so full. Oh, we had to wear a mask. Whatever. Gen Z.
I still managed to release 12 albums in 2020 on Equip's Picks, so
that's insane.
So, yeah, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, and then get I don't know. I could make fun of that all day. Yeah. Finally, we got Johnny Cash here.
Right. So it was the 4th of July, and I went to go watch the fireworks with my girlfriend's family, which was fun. I was like family time, the little Rugrats and the extended family, and just like, even if it's not your family, it's just like, oh, this is nice. This is family stuff, cookout, fireworks. On the way, on the drive, I was like, well, we got to listen to something patriotic. And what's more patriotic than Johnny Cash's coke-fueled album, America, which came out sort of in the twilight of his career and his life. Well, no, not his life. That came later. But America is a whack album. It includes a lot of narration about the history of America, each state being added one at a time. It addresses some of the atrocities that took place by the white man in this country. So it's not all squeaky clean. It covers the massacre of Bigfoot and his people by Custard and that kind of stuff. But it also has the Gettysburg Address recited in full by Johnny Cash with acoustic guitar behind it, which goes to a minor 4 at the end, which is really
well, that's
sick.
kind of nice. Does he sing "This land is your land"?
He doesn't.
This land.
He does not.
That's really good.
But some tracks like that, we used to listen to this when we would go camping in Tennessee, and so
that's the road through Kentucky.
Right, exactly. So the song I chose is "The Road to Kentucky," which is one of my favorites on the album, because they're talking about traveling west, and the west at that time period that he's talking about is Kentucky, which is just like, I don't know, very cool to think about.
The only comment about it. Royal Smith 91 goes, sounds kind of terrible to be honest.
I mean, it is, but I don't know. Like sometimes you step outside of the things that you normally listen to and you normally like, and just give yourself to a whole other sphere of influence, and it can be interesting. So we're going.
Lost you, James.
Lost you, James. Lost audio from you, James.
Oh
boy. Oh jeez. Oh
can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now.
Oh darns. That was James's last song.
Wait, can you hear me?
We can move forward.
Well, they can hear me. You can't, though.
We cannot hear you, James.
All right,
I'll
they
let you
can
know if we
hear
can
me.
I'll let you know.
So they, all right. So
can hear us.
folks at home, you can't hear me say.
Can anybody hear us? Okay, B says we can hear you.
The chat can hear us.
Folks at home,
can they hear James?
Can't hear me say that I think Tech is a big dummy.
Oh,
and
he's
There
back.
we go. Oh, we heard that.
Yeah, I know that was intentional. No, I was fiddling around with my AirPods case, and so they connected.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so it's always interesting to step outside yourself, step into different spheres, and Road to Kentucky it's a catchy little song. Some few problematic lyrics, but nothing too terrible. It was a different time.
All right. Let's move to Mark.
So hold on. So we have Western,
right.
Western, country Western style.
So Johnny Cash, Hurt.
Oh yeah, all right. So Downward Spiral, Game Over.
I mean, it's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
You got remix. You got a remix by Equip. Downward Spiral has Further Down the Spiral, a whole remix album devoted to it.
And Pepper's from the same era.
Pepper was Gibby from Butthole Surfers, the one who made the Broken video go viral. So
perfect.
That's a different era. But the point is, Downward Spiral is definitely it. So, congrats. I got hesitation marks. You got the Downward Spiral.
You're in charge, man. You're stupid.
Mark picked a song, ironically, from an album titled American, which he is himself not. By RuPaul. A song called Charisma, Uniqueness, Nerve, and Something, but I can't see because it tapers off with an ellipses.
Charisma, Uniqueness, Nerve, and Talent, which is a acronym, which I will not recite right now on this broadcast. But this song, like most of RuPaul's hits for the runway, it's always kind of just like, I don't know, in a previous episode recently I mentioned that some songs just like are stuck in my head perpetually and I don't want them to be. This is one of them. And it's not that I don't like it, but it's like, it's just rattling around in there. I don't know.
Mark is always... The original intention of this playlist was to be like what we're actually listening to throughout the week.
I'm always listening to it.
Mark genuinely just takes it so seriously. He's like, these are the things that I'm thinking about, regardless of...
Zack Snyder.
Like, I'm going to make this about my neuroses and also about my music preferences.
Okay, so we got The C Word by RuPaul in there.
I mean, I love the phoned in sort of like cookie cutter dance beat in the background of like pretty much all of her tracks as well. It's like very much like an iTunes at like GarageBand style loop going on, which is awesome. Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar with RuPaul's compositions, but maybe one day, when I listen to this. Next up, you've got you've got an artist I'm sure you're familiar with up there in the cold white north called Igloo V.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us about this one?
This track, it's in Japanese, but I know what it says. It says sack. The song is called Sack, and you're gonna hate this. I'm just in advance. I'm sorry. Especially, I'm sorry, James. I'm really sorry. But the reason that I learned about this song, which is actually a pretty good track, is I was posting a short video of I was recently given a small 3D printed testicles decoration that you can attach to a crock.
Right.
And I wanted to make a short video about them, and I just thought, in the story on Instagram, I'll search Sack and see what comes up. This is the first song, and it's a great song.
It's a great song.
It's good. It's like kind of funky, and it's got Japanese vocals belted over top of it, and the title's in katakana. That's cool. It's got purple and green art.
Very vapor.
It does say Sack. I actually have these right under my desk here. I'll just show you what they look like.
Just say sack again? Oh my god.
There you go.
Like truck nuts for a crock?
Yeah. So they
So at what point, it's like I used to say that everyone with a mustache always grows it ironically at first, and then before they know it, they're in their 30s and they're a dude with a mustache. So at what point do your truck nuts become just the truck nuts that you have?
This is the one that I developed. This RGB Roses gibbet. I created my own gibbets as well.
That is sick.
But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance, but I have to put it on there. It's actually a good song. And shout out Glenn. He sent me these as a joke, and he was also horrified and disgusted by them. But the fact that he thought of me when he saw them is disturbing, and I'm not sure how to reverse it now. But
It's so funny.
Okay. So we got that, and then we and then we got finally we got the Teriyaki Boys.
This
truck nuts on a bike. That's like the funniest because it actually looks like it could be attached to the rider.
What are we talking about?
Truck nuts on a bike.
Speaking
Like
of
dangling from your bike saddle.
speaking of high culture,
You're wearing shorts that are a little too high, and they're...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry, Zach.
it's fine. I was trying to make a joke about how it was stupid. It's fine. You guys can talk about how awesome it is.
I don't think it's awesome. I just think it's funny.
I know.
Like
I
The
don't
Hobbit.
think it's funny.
That's how I feel about The Hobbit. I don't think it's awesome.
I'm just being a Debbie Downer. Tokyo Drift Fast and Furious soundtrack in typical Mark form.
Yeah, this is another song about family, and family's been front of mind for me. And I looked up Vin Diesel's page on Spotify, and he hasn't released any new singles. That's how long we'd be doing this show. I remember I put a single from him. It was called like "Feel It" or something.
From the Kelly Clarkson show or whatever, with all the Black Mirror episode, like tablet people going.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was
In
incredible.
their little fucking hell boxes. It's
All right,
nightmare.
look, we're running over here. So Kevin, you're getting short shrifted.
Yeah, okay. That's really it. It's
So I would say that Mark's era is whatever era coincides with Trilemma by Muse. That is the era of Trent Reznor. He is Trent Reznor experiencing, seeing the album cover Trilemma for the first time, and Trent Reznor's
I'll tell you what it is.
reaction to that.
I'll tell you what it is.
Like 2018 or something?
Yeah, but give me a second. Shut up. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. I want to see the singles.
okay.
Is it gonna make me fucking be stupid? Okay. Yeah. So you're add violence.
All right. That means nothing to me.
Yeah, it was an EP. Actually, it's perfect because it was a part of a series of 3 EPs that he released one after the next to make up like a larger story, a trilemma, if you will.
Perfect. Oh god, I love you so much, Tech.
Yeah.
Only you can complete the puzzles in my mind.
Okay. Finally, we have Kevin here. And you've got Thiago Nassif and Cornelius as your first pick. With a song called Thiago Nassif?
Yeah, every now and then I just check and see if Cornelius has released anything new. And to my surprise, there was a new remix. Whoa. And it's really cool. It's like, I'm not familiar with the original artist being remixed, but it's just kind of a cool, funky jam. And it sounds like Cornelius.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think where I know Cornelius from. I think Cornelius did a remix for Blur for the song like Tender or something once upon a time. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud here. We got the Cool Notes, the song In Your Car.
Yeah, the song rules hard, and it's on the Spend the Night with Games mixtape, which was like
Yeah.
Dan Lapotin, One Tricks Point Never's earlier project Games with Joel Ford. They released like these, arguably like one of the first vaporwave releases. It's a 2009 or 2010 double cassette like mixtape of just like a ton of different genres of music slowed down. And this is like one of the, I think it's like the starting track on tape 1 or 2, I can't remember, but it's having a barbecue on the 4th of July, and a friend came over and put this on, commandeered the stereo, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about this track.
Someone from the DDS Discord server just supplied me with all those early games releases because I had no way to get them.
My buddy Colin got those for me at a garage sale here in Chicago. It's like unbelievable that find those tapes at the garage sale, but it was like, you know, like a young hipster couple moving, like selling their tapes, and he was like, oh dude, I got you these, figured you like that Dan Lapotin guy, and I was like, holy shit. So those are kind of a crown jewel of my tape collection. I've considered selling them many times, but they don't go for as much money as they should. Like those should be like $400 for the set, but
they don't have the name power, you know. It's not.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's interesting. Okay, so then your final one is Beneath the Mask by Lynn. What can you tell us about Beneath the Mask?
So I just did the Persona 4 mixtape for Eclipse Picks, and it's all future funk stuff. But in doing so, like beforehand, I was kind of considering doing like music from all of the Personas. So I listened to a lot of the Persona 5 soundtrack. I've never played the game, but like my roommate has played it, and I remember this being the track that was playing a lot, where I was just like, wow, this game has really cool music. So yeah,
yeah, I mean
that's about that.
Good soundtrack. Okay, so then, what are you? What the fuck are you?
Perfect Drug, because it's a sick era of Trent Reznor and has not been covered yet.
Okay, sounds good to me.
So just real quick,
play it in your car.
Yeah, play it in your car. Definitely. Before we go,
got some cool notes.
Yeah, so we've gone over, but we did start like 5 minutes late, so not as over. I need to end this though, because I need to go on a bike ride. Because folks, I just look at this. This is my current activity right now.
I gotta fill those rings.
So I'm looking at least 30 minutes hitting the pavements. Hopefully nothing bad happens to my.
Kevin's got
testing.
Oh, make sure to tune in to Sights, Sounds, and Conversations, July 10th, 1 p.m. I believe it's Codex's 30th birthday, and they're showing our friends DDS's Virtual Utopia Experience, the movie, and our friend R23X's Regen Plus back-to-back. So you better tune in and watch it. And there's performances by Lauren Napier, Ifin, friend of the show, Fighting Island, Remix, James.
James, what the hell are you doing?
iClick.
Very interesting video.
Oh, sick. God,
Yeah.
Nissan.
Unstoppable. Yeah.
The
so
first ever vaporwave double feature.
tune in.
Is that true?
So that's on Saturday.
Nice. That would be an interesting pairing of videos.
You can mute it now, James.
Shout out.